Hey there. I hope you all having an amazing day. Today is Sunday. I'm sitting in my place of comfort, home here in South America, having a cup of coffee, of course. Today, though, I think I'm drinking coffee from Cuba. So, anyways, I was thinking about how I failed. I failed royally. I failed big time. I was in Atlanta, where I've lived for many, many years since 1992, actually. And I decided one day I was going to get my real estate license. And after finishing single family home property management, that company went out of business, and I decided I would get my license and work as an independent agent. And so I went to class. I knew I needed classroom settings. I am not the kind of person that can do a class online. I need to be able to ask questions. I'm very visual. I'm a visual learner. So I remember going to class. I finished the class, and it was time to take a classroom test. And right before my test, I got a phone call that our dear mother was in the hospital. And it just clouded everything. I could not function. I could not think clearly. I took the classroom test and thinking, hey, I can go take the test, go see about mama, and then I can take the state test later. Well, I failed that classroom test. I failed it by 4 or 5 points, I believe. And what I did, I immediately got myself together, and I went to Palaca. I went to where she was. But also something I did that was very interesting. I signed up for the next available class because I knew I didn't want it to linger, and I didn't want to be out of class too long. If I failed it by 5 points, I already knew that percentage, like 85% of the information. But I needed to go see about my mom because to me that was the most important thing to do. I remember going to my birthplace, and I told a couple of my, I think it was two of my brothers. I said, hey, I didn't pass, because they knew I was taking the real estate test. And I said, I didn't pass. And so after seeing that mama was okay, I re-enrolled into the very next class. I said, hey, I'm going home. I'm going back home to Atlanta, and I'm going to re-enroll in the next available class. I did that. I got in class. I said, I already know at least 85% of the information. I went back to class. Make a long story short, it was time to take the classroom test again. And what happened? I get another phone call. Mama is back in the hospital. This time I took a few deep breaths, and I said, I'm going to complete this because I believe she's going to be okay. I'm not going to let this get in my way or cloud my vision. So anyways, I completed that test, and then I moved forward to taking the state test, and I was able to get my license. But what I learned was, just because you fail at something doesn't mean that you are a failure. You've gained more knowledge. It's called, I read in a book one time, it's failing forward. You are not failing backwards, you're failing forward. It just took you more than one time to gather all the information. But I got clouded because of the distraction. And it's okay, because I was able to maintain my real estate license. Well, I want to say to you, those of you that are listening to this, maybe you did fail at something because of distractions. Don't give up on it. Go back and try it again. And if you failed again, go back and try it again until you pass the test. Just like in life, until we pass these life's tests, you're going to keep experiencing, we're going to keep experiencing the same thing over and over again. But I saw a pattern, because every time I got ready to accomplish something, something came up. There was a distraction that came to keep me from moving forward. But I've always seemed to surmount and really cross those barriers and complete the mission that I've set out to do. And it's no different now. Anytime I'm getting ready to embark on something new, something else comes up as a distraction. But I know that I don't have any control of anything but my own emotions and my feelings. Listen, I failed, but I want you to know that I got back up again and I completed the test. Please do the same. Don't give up because you failed.